Good evening, Greg. Welcome to this week's episode of Haunted Pub Crawl. How are you today?
I am wonderful. It's a little bit nippy, but
A little
all
bit.
good.
Snowy England this week.
Well, snowy up north. We haven't had snow down south. So, not yet anyway. Not yet.
Right,
But
snowy.
It's,
Very fucking cold.
it's very fucking foggy. We've got fog, and it's -3 at the moment. It's not too bad. Not too bad. So, talking about cold places,
Yes.
we're staying in Scotland for yet
Yep.
another episode of the Haunted Pub Crawl, but we're in Scotland still.
In Edinburgh,
Yes.
to be exact.
Yes. So
Lovely Edinburgh. Lovely place.
still on my bucket list to go to, but I don't like the cold. So I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever go there.
It's worth it.
Definitely.
So the first pub I'm going to talk about, not much about this one, but we'll see how it goes. And that is the Last Drop.
Ooh, nice.
Sort
Classic
of old
pub
style.
design.
Yeah. Known for its wide-ranging selection of real ales, the Last Drop can be found in one of the city's oldest areas, the Grassmarket. Named after the 14th century practice of using the large enclosed area for agriculture, such as corn, cattle and horse trading, the Grassmarket also has a darker side. Its wide open space made it ideal for public executions.
Oh, lovely.
Just have a drink, watch out the window, watch someone getting hanged. Perfect place. The last hanging took place here in 1784, which could help explain the high level of supposed paranormal activity in the area.
Cool.
Once home to tenements where many families lived, the pub you see today was rebuilt using the building's original 17th century stone.
Ah, okay.
But it seems that some of the residents are still there. And when we talk about some of the sort of theories behind ghosts, the sort of stone tape theory, if they're using them walls that have sort of kept that energy in for hundreds of years and they're replaying sort of stuff that's happening, could be an explanation.
Definitely.
The most famous ghost, or the most sort of well seen, is the ghost of a young girl in medieval clothing who's believed to have lived in the building before it became a pub.
Oh.
Her mischievous spirit has been blamed for disembodied voices and objects moving on their own. Staff and drinkers have even reported seeing her in the bar and cellar areas, with her even supposedly whispering some of their names when they were alone in the building.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
So obviously little girl ghosts are quite a creepy ghost. Popular and creepy. And if you're alone in the pub and then you hear a little girl ghost whispering your name, that is quite horror movie stuff, really.
Yeah. That would be probably... that's up there with probably the worst thing I could hear in a pub whilst on my own, or anywhere on my own.
Imagine just being in a pub or somewhere and hearing someone whisper your name. Then you just look like the stairs, you see a little girl going upstairs, like giggling away. How about, nope, I'm not following you up them stairs.
That was my last drop. I'm gone. Yeah, brutal.
That's where it gets its name from as well, the last drop before you go get hanged. Might be. It seems to fit.
I thought that was genuinely it then.
Could be.
That would make
I
sense.
might have read that during looking.
No, you've got a little terraced area behind you as well, just outside. So maybe you can get a nice little ringside view.
Yeah,
on the
of
terrace.
The hangings.
Yeah. You pay higher for VIP seats.
It's mad that even, it's very macabre, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just in public, hanging in anywhere, but public.
Yeah. It's horrible. I know I was reading about hangings the other day, weirdly, and in the Western world, they hang so you drop and it snaps your neck. But in places like some of the countries in the Middle East, they don't. They just kick away a stool and you literally suffocate. So it takes 15 minutes or so for you to die.
Yeah.
Whereas in the UK, but in the Western world, when hangings were popular entertainment, you would drop far enough that your neck would snap.
I suppose.
There we go.
That's one way. I mean, America still does public executions, I guess, when you can watch and get the injection, or
Yeah,
it's just
dark as fuck.
yeah.
Yeah. So, well, that's quite dark chat.
It was. So yes,
Cool.
that was the last drop in Edinburgh's Grassmarket.
That's cool, though. I like that one. So I am going to be taking us on a little trip to this one. I don't know if you can.
Looks cool.
It does look cool. That's a good night picture of it. But that is what this place looks like. And this place is called the Tolbooth Tavern. It's in Edinburgh, in Scotland, obviously, and was built in 1591. So I know we talk old places, but this is a particularly old place. This is probably one of the older ones we've talked about as well. And this, back in the days, Edinburgh was divided into two areas, the Royal Borough and Canongate. The toll booth was located just in the middle of both areas and was used to collect tolls from travellers who wanted to enter the Royal Borough. It even served as a prison for a period of time. So it could be that spirits that haunt the tavern are former prisoners.
Could be.
Could be. So it's had many purposes over the years, and all of these purposes needed alterations. So the building has been changed quite a bit throughout the centuries. Back in the days, Scotland had to hold its own in many battles, usually against the English. So to help provide the city's safety, gun loops and turrets were constructed in the toll booth. In 1884, the clock was added to the building, which you can see behind me, which is a famous landmark today. And in 1856, Canongate was fully incorporated into Edinburgh, so the need for toll collecting disappeared. The toll booth lost its main function and was turned into a tavern not much later. So during the 16th century, though, an exorcism took place on the premises of the toll booth.
Nice. We love an exorcism.
Here we go.
This is more like it. It looks like a good setting for an exorcism as well.
Yeah. A warlock was suspected to be possessed by the devil, and Sir Lewis Bellenden, Baron of Broughton and Justice Clerk of Scotland, had the skills to drive it out. Bellenden, yes. Easy for you to say, not so easy for me to read and say with a straight face. The exorcism was horrible, and the poor warlock died of pure fear. Sir Lewis, his initials are engraved above the archway of the toll booth, so pay attention if you ever get the opportunity to go there. Toll booth briefly served as a prison, though this toll booth prison is not to be confused with the toll booth prison, which used to be located near St Giles Cathedral. That is also where the gallows were, near the Midlothian Heart, and the more heavy criminals were put. This prison, though, on the ground floor, only the people who weren't able to pay fines and those accused of minor offences were imprisoned. So it wasn't that high grade. You're not like a category A prisoner if you're at this particular one. Just
I suppose you wouldn't be getting treated well, though.
No, it would be a shit place to be. To be fair, you're hardly getting buffets and stuff like that. You might eat the odd rat, I suppose. But... So, in 1654, Oliver Cromwell's guards captured a couple of men whom they considered to be enemies of Edinburgh. The prisoners managed to escape the toll booth the classic way. They used knotted together bedclothes to escape from the top room. So who'd have
Angles.
thought? Yeah. So it's between 1661 and 1688. People of the Scottish Presbyterian movement, known as the Covenanters, were imprisoned here for treason. So it's had its fair share of people who have really gone against the kingdom as such.
Yeah.
And it was not the only place in Edinburgh where they were held prisoner. At Greyfriars Kirkyard was a place for them too, which I think we've covered off in previous episodes as well. It was this brutal lawyer, George Mackenzie, who made their life miserable. And even after death, Mackenzie is a horrible man. His infamous mausoleum is haunted by an aggressive poltergeist. Love that word. Which is believed to be Mackenzie himself. His mausoleum is now locked, so no one can get injured anymore because the poltergeist has scratched and bitten several people.
Wow.
So we've had an exorcism, we've got a poltergeist, and now I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about some of the ghosts. So behind the tavern, at the back of the Royal Mile, you'll find some buildings that have been used for housing in the period between the 1750s and the 20th century. So a little bit more up to date. Somehow people feel uneasy there. The atmosphere is very pressing, but the tavern itself is also haunted. There's an unnamed spirit who is often described as a shadowy figure, but most people are convinced it is a male. The spirit makes its way around the pub, pushing glasses and bottles off tables and knocking pictures off the walls. And there are several child spirits, obviously, who play throughout the pub. Their tiny footsteps and giggles are often heard. Another spirit has also been seen and heard pacing up the stairs towards the clock tower. Tolbooth Tavern today is open to the public, serves food and drinks. Just beware the fact that your drink could go flying off a table. And the staff are fully aware of the careless spirit, so if you knock something over, you can always blame the ghost. And that is the Tolbooth Tavern.
I wish that mausoleum wasn't locked. That would be.
I know.
That's awesome.
It's worth a trip to have a look at that, though. I think, but I think if there are reports of people being bitten and scratched, they probably just don't want that on their conscience. But yeah, it's quite a lot of creepy stuff happened there. Being a prison, that's always going to be a trauma kind of place. Like with the one you just discussed, if they're doing public executions outside, there's lots of trauma in the area. So
yeah,
that's definitely, I think, what we've learned over these episodes and also the American episodes is that where there's high levels of trauma, that seems to be the magnet. But
yeah, there's got to be something to it because even when you don't know the history, when stuff happens and then you look into it, you think, maybe that's why. It's got to be something to it.
Yeah. So yeah, that is Haunted Pub Crawl in Edinburgh.
We'll see you next week.